if you falsify your speech in the service of a proximal goal, you corrupt your soul. And, or I could say more technically that you damage your psyche. Those are very similar ideas. But the evidence for that is crystal clear. You know, because what happens to people who say things they don't believe is they come to believe the things they say. And the reason for that is, we talked a little earlier about the fact that a lot of you is unarticulated, right? And so there are things you know, but you don't know that you know them, and you don't know how to talk about them. And so then what you do is you decide that to reach a proximal goal, like getting a good grade, well, you have to say what the professor wants. So you write out an essay, you know, there's no soul in it, and you feel sick while you're writing it, and you're not interested in it, and you feel small, which are all hints from your being that you shouldn't be doing that, but you do it anyways. And then at the end, you've got two choices, like you're either a liar and a coward, or you believe what you wrote. And there's plenty of psychological evidence for this, and what people do is decide that they believe what they wrote, because it's less painful than noting that you're a liar and a coward. And not only that, you've articulated a counter-argument. And so your original conviction remains unarticulated, and the counter-argument is articulated. So you've built yourself your own enemy, and you will pay for that. You pay for that with a diminishment of your character. And your character is what sustains you through life. You don't have, in any fundamental sense, you don't have anything else, because that's the thing that enables you to master the continual onslaught of chaos and uncertainty that you will be faced with for your entire life. You do not pollute your character. You pay for it. And so does everyone else. And if it goes far enough, then everyone else pays horribly for it. And it's the lesson of the 20th century. So don't do that. And if you do that in university, it's like a mortal sin. It runs absolutely contrary to the spirit of the institution. It is precisely the opposite it's the absolute polar opposite to why you're here. Do not do it. And it's also a kind of second-rate cynicism, because even though there is a fair bit of rot in the academic institutions, most of the time, if you write an articulate essay that the professor doesn't agree with, you will not be punished with a failing grade. It's very rare that that actually happens. Now, there is the odd professor who's so damn corrupt that that's going to be the case, but I've talked to lots of students and counseled them to write down what they think, and their grade generally surprises them quite spectacularly, because they're invested in the damn essay, and so they do the work, right? And they put a little passion into it, and they're not bored by it or made sick by what they're producing. And then they end up with a grade that's far better than they think. So, you know, often it's well, I'm going to take the easy route out, but I'm going to justify it by relating it to my career progress. It's like, really, guys, that's pretty pathetic. You know, seriously, it's pathetic. And I don't mean to be morally judgmental. I mean that it's pathetic in that what it will do is make you weak and craven. And probably you don't want that. You know, like, why would you want that when you could be strong and forthright instead? Like, that's a way better choice. So don't say things that you don't believe, and especially don't write things that you don't agree with.